And we are live. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to my front yard. Hope everyone is doing well today. I am going to jibber jabber for a couple minutes and wait for people to find us and join in. And then we got an awesome guest for you today. Super stoked that this dude was able to hop in and talk with me today. One of my comedian buddies, very talented dude named Jesus Trejo. He's got a lot of fun food projects coming up that I wanted to talk to him about. And he's just a fun dude to chit chat with either way. Thanks for watching yesterday. Someone messaged me and told me that they thought I looked drunk yesterday. And I was like, I don't know why. I only had half a beer. And I realized it's because I'm trying to read the comments on the screen, and because we have some lights here in the yard, so I'm squinting so I can see how I'm sitting here drinking a beer and squinting and looking like this, how it could look like I got a little faded on a Tuesday afternoon. You guys know my philosophy, man. I try to keep it just 3 beers deep, and you shouldn't be looking drunk if you're only 3 beers deep, all right? You're allowed to have a 4th and 5th beer, but only when the 1st and 2nd beer wear off, so you keep it right in that comfort zone of 3 beers deep, all right? That's the mantra here. Shout out to the Beach Reporter. Thank you so much to my buddy Michael Hickson. He's a longtime reporter and bigwig over at the Beach Reporter, which is a news source that circulates all around the South Bay and Los Angeles. He did a write-up on comedians shifting and adapting to this new world we have found ourselves in. So he did a piece which included me, Ian Bagg, Dan O'Carter, and a couple other comics. And he mentioned the podcast Meet Dave, and he also mentioned my other podcast, the Tony Azevedo podcast, which is a water polo podcast, and a bunch of other stuff that I'm doing, including a show on May 20th at Common Space Brewery, which is what I'm going to be drinking today. Our guest today has a taco-related series coming out. So in honor of that, I busted out the Mexican lager from Common Space. Hope you guys have a beer or a cocktail in your hand for happy hour right now. It's 6 on the West Coast. Cheers to you. Thanks for being here. Oh, man, it's really good. I'm usually not a lager guy. It's really good. They're doing some good stuff at Common Space these days. If you're in the LA area and you need beer, you can order it from Common Space and they will deliver. They have some awesome guys who are adjusting and working there that are getting beers to everyone who needs them around LA. So hit them up if you need to support them. What else, guys? The golf courses have opened up, which I'm super excited about. Golf courses, hiking trail. It's going to make things a lot easier for everyone to stick at home and kind of be safe and not go too stir crazy. At least you can get out, get some fresh air, do some activities. We could talk to some golf with my buddy Jesus today as well. Shout out to Jay Austin from Barbacoa Boys, who joined me yesterday. Forgot to wear my hat yesterday, so today I wore my Barbacoa Boys hat. Looking forward to it. Gonna pull a pork shoulder out of the freezer tonight so that we can smoke it on Friday. I'm going to try to time it so that it gets done. We'll pull it out of the smoker right at 6 o'clock-ish when we're doing this, so you guys can see that on Friday. Tomorrow, I have a guest named Justin James, who's been on my podcast before. Funny comedian here in the LA area, also a chef. And he likes to cook and kind of merge his two worlds at comedy shows. So if you show up at a comedy show where he's on the lineup, you might be able to eat some of his food out in front of the venue. He sells it. So I'm going to have him cook something while we're streaming tomorrow. So now I'm just wasting time waiting for Jesus to pop in. And as soon as he does, we'll pull him on. I did check with him. I know he knows to be here. Is this thing still talking or is it okay? It's working? It's all right. All right, just talking to JR, guys. I'm lucky enough to have a camera guy who lives next door to me, and he's always game to work on projects and stuff, so that's why we're able to light up the front yard. And I am going to, as soon as we finish streaming this, record an at-home audition. I got my first audition from my agent, my commercial agent, since this whole thing went down. So I have to, it's for a Ron Swanson type who's not good at baking. So I think I could pull that off. I got the mustache for it right now. The blonde mustached Ron Swanson. We're going to do that today as soon as we wrap up with the live stream. What else can I talk to you guys about while I'm stalling? So Jesus is a comedian who is originally even from LA, which you don't see very often. And I'll read the comments while we're sitting here. Oh, thank you, Oren. Oren said that he loves the stash. Ryan Budd says, audio sounds great. Thank you, Ryan. And Jesus is here. I'm going to bring him right now. Jeremy says, I'm going to make some of that bacon this weekend. What word would... Jeremy, I tried to message you and tell you about that. I was using a blend because I use my pellet smoker for that. And I was using a blend that they make. You can honestly probably use anything, and it's going to be pretty delicious. Hickory or apple would probably be the safest, I'm guessing, for something like that. But I don't know how much flavor you're really going to get that's going to overpower the syrup and everything. So I think you're pretty safe with whatever you want to use, buddy. But message me. I friended you now, so now I can actually get your messages. If you want any more clarification, message me, and we'll talk about that, all right? Franklin, yes, we're going to talk about tacos today. Schlitzel, that does... No, the mustache is... That's from the world closing down, all right? Yeah, Carmen, I'm trying to... If you guys didn't think I could get any more dad brand than I already have, welcome the stash, because that's done it. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring up the... Boop, 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 boop. I'm getting good at this stuff. Shout out to Ryan Butts for teaching me a lot of this, by the way. Bringing my buddy in, and dude, what up, Jesus? How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. What's the word?
Everything's cool, dude. Everything's cool. In your honor, I don't mean this is not a racist thing. This is a paying homage thing to your new tacos project. I'm drinking a Mexican lager from Common Space today. So cheers for joining me, pal. I appreciate you.
Cheers, man. Dude, look at that setup. It looks awesome.
Have you seen the 300 posts I've put about my new shack that I built yet?
But this one here, I mean, seeing it live through the internet, I mean, I can really get a feel for it. I mean, you got the lighting there, but nothing is more important, I'm going to tell you, than that mustache. Let's talk about
it. You know, it's the best thing is that everyone, because, you know, everyone who doesn't have to live with me or kiss me has been like, hey, why not? It looks great, you know? But the one person who's been a holdout, which cracks me up, is Shane Torres, who tours with you and I when we were with Bert a lot of the times, right? So Shane's been the one person that comments and everything or sends me private messages and is like, hey, man, I can't handle your mustache. Yeah, I think it really bothers him.
I have a feeling you're growing out that mustache so you can use the hair from that mustache to make it like a little brush where you apply the barbecue sauce to the ribs.
That's a very popular technique. Yeah, very popular.
I mean, because if you don't do that, I mean, you're not really getting enough Dave Williamson in there. You know what I mean?
You know, you can use rubs, you can use sauces, you can use spritzes, but there's nothing like a mustache brush to really put your essence and your signature onto some meat.
Bro. Yeah, dude. I love it, man. I thank you for having me. This is really cool. Thank you, man.
Of course, man. You're one of my favorite comics to talk food with, man, because you have such
it's all day, man.
Yeah, you have such a passion for it like I do. And you know, you're a guy who I admire for staying very busy. It's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to pump out as much content and try to really lean into my passions. And you're a guy I look at and I admire what you do because you've been able to do it now. I do it with water polo and barbecue. You do it with golf and now tacos.
Yeah, golf, tacos, comedy. It's like that's what's so great about comedy, that whatever your likes are, like you just go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, yeah, but yeah, we bond over food. I feel like my zodiac sign is a calorie. Yeah. I mean, I just love it, man. I just love food, and I love what you're doing, man. The whole barbecue world is so foreign to me, but just seeing you like talk about, you know, the type of pits, the grills, the rubs, the kind of meat. I mean, seeing you get down like on that grill on the road is second to none. I mean, it's just so cool watching you move, man. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, that's another reason why it's great to have you on, because you've gotten to taste a lot of my barbecue recently.
Number one, man. I mean, barbecue as nice as his mustache. Let's just say that. Huh?
Well, you know what's fun to me, man, is and we've talked about this the past couple of days, that one of the most challenging things about barbecue is when you're away from your comfort zone. You know, because when you know your own smoker and you got it like dialed in, or you know your prep space, you know, then things are a little bit easier. But it's a challenge when we're on the tour bus together and I got the travel smoker because, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be using that thing on a sidewalk, a parking lot, a loading dock. I don't know if I got to worry about homeless people coming by and stealing what we're cooking. I don't know if I'm going to have prep room to rub everything. You know, finally, we bought a folding table from Target so I could pull that out and plop that down.
Right.
And we really look like we're tailgating all over the country. But it's a challenge, but it makes it even more fun for me when I pull it off. You know, when I roll into the venue and then you got to ask the venue. I don't even know if they have utensils and something like a sharp enough knife I can cut the brisket with. But it almost adds to the fun of it, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how much you're into basketball, but this was a saying I would hear a lot growing up. It's like, hey, you don't fix the rim, you fix your shot, you know, and you got the necessary tools, but you always are fixing your shot. And man, like sidewalk, parking lot, you know, his own setup. I mean, your barbecue is just, I mean, it's on point. It's a 3-pointer from half court every time, just swish.
Well, the nice thing about being in those situations is that when you pull it off, people are even more impressed. And if you fuck it up, then it's an excuse. Like, oh man, I wish this would have come out better, but I didn't time it right when I had to go on stage. You know.
I remember the ribs you did in Reno.
Yeah.
You went across the street to the Walmart. You cooked them, and you even brought the slab of ribs on stage.
Yeah.
To do an encore, like it did a 5-minute set. Like the rack of ribs had performed, and then it bowed, and then afterwards we killed it as a group there.
What's wrong, man? The broadcast went out? No, it's still going.
It's still going. I can see it.
It's going on you and me. Someone said, let's see. I see here and here, and yeah, I think we're still going. Hey, someone send a comment. Is anyone watching this right now? There's no reason why it would go out unless the internet went out. But then I couldn't be talking to Jesus if the internet went.
Yeah, if it went out, we wouldn't be.
No one's sending a comment, though.
Please do not attempt to adjust your laptop. That is just Dave's mustache.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Franklin just wrote in, so we're good. All right. Sorry for the delay there, everybody. We're really rolling, too. I don't know. Keep working on it, JR. See what it says.
Yeah, don't adjust anything. Just his mustache. That's all.
That's it. Well, let's talk about a little bit about what you got going on, man. Because first, I want to know about the golf thing. You did that with All Things Comedy, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it was it was a nice project that I was able to do with the kind folks and over at All Things Comedy. There were I pitched them this idea that it just. The banter that happens in between holes when you're just out there playing, and wouldn't it be hilarious to have somebody have a golf show and not be good at golf? I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, every golf show that you have, they have some level of proficiency. It's like, what if we scrap that and we just talk, there for moral support kind of thing. And I love the idea. And we shot a few episodes, and hopefully we can shoot some more. But as of yesterday, the last episode that we had in the can is out, and that was with Donnell Rawlings.
Well, so since we've been crushing it with the metaphors and everything so far this interview, I would say that golf is a lot like barbecue, where listen, if you have a good game, that's a bonus. If you have a great meal, that's awesome. But it's really more about an excuse to get together, the camaraderie, the community that revolves around it. Yes, absolutely. Golf is a game that I think will mirror anything you got going in life. You can find what you need out of it. It's like being patient, sometimes closing the deal, or like the middle game, or your, teeing off, your patience and, remembering the feeling. It's like, I feel like it can relate to comedy, cooking, barbecuing, smoking, all kinds of stuff. Sure. Well, and that takes me to your new project, which I'm super excited about, dude. I thought it came, from what I've seen, it came out awesome. And I bet you have so much fun shooting it. Talk about Tacos Con Todo. And I'm such a gringo that when I was writing it and promoting it, you were going to be on today, I kept calling it Tacos Con Todos.
Yeah, Tacos Con Todo is a show that First We Feast put on. Their sister company with Complex, and they had this idea that they approached me about hosting kind of a map, mapping out the LA taco scene and all the great mom and pop taco spots, the lunch trucks, to the brick and mortar spot, to even some speakeasies that existed in town. And I was all for it. It was the backdrop is comedians talking shop and just hanging out, but the other side of that was the food scene, which one I'm a huge fan of, and to kind of see this color palette that exists in LA, because LA is a melting pot of people from everywhere in the world, but LA specifically to Mexico, you have people from all over Mexico, and they each kind of bring in their own flavor of tacos. Everything from Tacos 1986, which was adobada, which most people think, oh, that's al pastor. It really isn't. Tacos árabes, which was it almost looks like al pastor again, but it's more on the shawarma side. And we dive into the history of it, which I remember going to Mexico, maybe a few years ago. And me and my homie DeMar Randy, we went down to Mexico and we talked to this taquero guy. I don't know if it was his way of selling more, because we were killing tacos. So between the both of us, I think we took down 24 tacos.
Oh,
so about 12 each. And I mean, they were small, but they weren't big either,
Yeah.
But he was giving us a history lesson, and it kind of checked out, So he said that a lot of like the spices used in al pastor are not indigenous to Mexico. He's like, they came over with the Spaniards, which, if I remember correctly from my college history days, most of those spices came over from Asia to Spain during the Silk Road. So that kind of checks out. The pineapple, that's not indigenous to Mexico. And essentially what we know as al pastor is shawarma, and the tortilla is pita bread, and it's a very huge Lebanese influence. And, in Puebla, that's where they, there was a heavy Lebanese influence there, and they switched from lamb meat, which they did, and it was very expensive. They switched it to pork. And it's basically pork shawarma and tacos. So we dive into the history, we dive into the families who own these businesses and how they carry their family tradition and recipes, like Carnitas El Momo. They're in Boyle Heights. They have a tremendous and beautiful, delicious operation. And, we get to talk to Momo, that Romulo, the grandfather who brought this from Mexico. And, now it's like 3 generations of family who've carried on this recipe.
That's awesome, man. It's always so cool. Like, it's one of the things I love about doing my podcast, especially when I'm on the road and I can hit up these restaurants and sit down with the people. When like the story behind the place, it makes the meal so much more satisfying, Like, some places, they don't give a shit, or they're not passionate about it. They're there just to pump out a burger. But other places are like, hey, man, this is my dream. Like, I worked to get here to have the privilege of making this burger for you,
Right.
And yeah. It truly, it sounds cheesy, but it really does make it better. Speaking about eating that many tacos, I giggled to myself because it reminded me of this one night when I first moved to LA. I was out with a bunch of comedians, and we used to go all the time to this one taco truck that was very close to the Hollywood Improv, which was in a Chevron or a Mobile gas station.
Oh, off of Vine?
Yes.
Yes, I know that. Yeah, I know exactly the one. It's right by a Wild Card Boxing Gym, right on in that Mobile gas station.
Yep. Dude, that taco truck is outstanding. So good. And we were there one night. We're there. It's me, Forrest Shaw, Al Jackson, a couple other comedians. We're chowing on tacos, right? And I think Al had a few tequilas that night, and he's shoving tacos into his mouth, right? And I go, Al, man, how many are you gonna eat? He's like, dude, these are so good. I think I could literally eat like 15 of them and not have a problem. And we're like, that's excessive. I don't know how many he actually ended up eating, but if it was a movie, That's exactly where it would have cut, and then cut to me driving down the 405 with Al puking out of my car. I'm like, Al, man, we're 40-year-old men. What are you doing, bro? You can't throw up on the 405 on a Tuesday.
Watch me.
I'm like, I guess you had too many tacos, bro, after all.
Just spewing out the taco oatmeal. How does it?
Yeah. I literally, I didn't want to like leave it in my, because we're adults now. I don't want my wife to walk out the next day and see the side of my truck like that. So it was like 3 a.m. I was at one of those, you pay $4 and you pressure clean your truck.
Wash it, yeah.
Like I murdered someone and I had to get the evidence off it before sunrise.
It's like, hey, nice racing stripes, bro.
It was very suspicious. Man, what was the name of the Mexican restaurant that you took us to in San Jose?
Oh, bro, La Victoria.
Oh, we walk in there, you're talking it up, and I'm like, and Bert's like, oh, I've been there before. You got to try this. You got to try this orange sauce. I'm like, orange sauce? How could
amazing impression? Amazing bird impression, by the way, with the hands and the thing.
You got to try this orange sauce. We walk in, Bert orders 30 orange sauces and just says, how many do you want to take home? And it was literally up to the hype. We took it home. And then when we did barbecue the next day, I used it as a binder on the brisket and then did the rub over it. And normally you can't taste the binder. I think that you could taste the binder after it was all the way done. And it added a perfect little kick to it, man. That stuff is incredible.
Yeah, that Victoria spot is so good, and it's like they're all over San Jose, and it's one of the ones I really like to go to myself. They started off with one location, and that's the one closest to the university down there, Cal State San Jose, and then right around like I think the location we went to was like maybe 3 miles away from the original one, but the orange sauce that they make is second to none. I mean, I don't know what it is in there. It's like, the bottles, you get a little squeeze bottle for, I don't know, like $5 a pop. And it's worth every penny of those $5.
Yeah. And then I brought it home. I was talking it up and my wife's like, whatever. And then she tried it on something and she was like, you guys are not kidding. This is incredible. And it's been like a blessing to our family. We put it on eggs, put it on, sandwiches, on meat. You can put it on so much stuff, man.
You can put it on everything. It just blends well. It just, I mean, obviously they don't tell you what they put in there, but it's like, I definitely, recognize the pepper notes, the orange notes. There's like some habanero type notes in there, and it's so good. Literally on anything. Do you remember us walking out with the carton? I carried the carton. I mean, it was, how many bottles would you say? Like 40, 30?
He bought at least 30, maybe more.
It was so good. I forgot my bottle. I was like, dang it.
Oh, I took home like 5 of them. I'm on my last bottle now. One of them I had to throw away because it got a little moldy, but then I had one hidden in
shake it.
Just shake it.
Just shake it. You won't see it anymore.
Just scoop it out like a dry.
No, leave it in there.
Cut that part off.
No, it's like blue cheese. It's part of the bacteria taste.
It's good mold, like on a cheese or on a dry aged steak.
Thank you. There it is. Yeah, it's part of the gig, bro.
Speaking of dry aged steak, man, I don't know if you regularly listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, but he had Adam Perry Long on there from the APL restaurant, which is down in Hollywood. Uh-huh. And it was a great interview, man. If you like meat talk, it was an incredible interview, man. Check it out. And to everyone watching right now, I advise you go check it out, man. He talks. He was talking about dry aged steaks in his room that he has in the restaurant where he dry ages these steaks for over 100 days. And I was just clinging on every word, man.
What would you recommend if you went to like top 2 steakhouses out here in LA? What would you say?
Well, so that place that I just mentioned, APL restaurant, they are actually primarily a steakhouse. And I've never been there for the steak, but they have a barbecue menu for lunch. And based on how good his barbecue is for lunch, I have to believe that the steak is unbelievable. So I would give you that recommendation without even being there.
Nice. I dig it.
And then, man, I would say probably the only other one I went to this one joint in Beverly Hills. That's a famous joint. And I can't remember the name of it now. What is it?
Palms.
That might have been it. It was a couple years ago. I can't remember, but I just remember being so stoked going. And so I ordered like a T-bone or something like that, right? And I noticed this couple sitting next to us kept kind of giving me the side eye, like they recognize you kind of thing, right? You know? And I'm like, and I'm looking over to them because they had bought these like tomahawk steaks that they took like one little bite and they were just leaving it there.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what is going on with these people? They're not chowing down on that steak, you know? And they were looking at me and I look at them. Finally, the lady turns to me and she says, I'm sorry, we recognize you from somewhere. Could you tell me where it is? And I'm like, I'm a comedian. And they're like, oh, we don't really watch a lot of comedy. I don't think it's that. I think I probably just look like someone they knew. You know what I mean? So then, but now we'd engaged and we start chit-chatting and talking. Jesus, I am not embarrassed to tell you that after we started like having a rapport, I, in a very fancy restaurant, said, hey, why aren't you guys eating more of your steak? And they said, we own a restaurant in San Diego and we come up here and they feed us for free and we just sample it. You know, we've been to 4 restaurants tonight, so I don't want to eat a whole steak. And I was like, what are you gonna do with that? And they go, probably the staff's gonna take it back and eat it. And I go, can I have a bite? I have these strangers cut me a bite of their steak and hand me their fork.
You know what? There is no shame in that. I would have done exactly the same thing. And good for you, man. Look, when it comes to food, and it's like there shouldn't be no whatever. I don't even know what you would call it. Legalities of. Fuck it. Just hey, can I get a piece? Because I was looking at it like this. If that was me and somebody, can I get a piece? I'm like, hell yeah, here you go. I mean, sharing is caring.
Let's do this sometime, man. Let's plan once the world goes back to whatever normal is going to be from now on. Once it's legal for you to actually come here, let's do something where we throw a little bit of a party, or we can even just shoot it for content or whatever. But let's do something where we combine our worlds, right?
I'm down.
So I'll either make some pork or a brisket, whatever you want me to make, and then whatever I make, we'll chop it up, and then you take over from there. And we make tacos out of it.
Dope. I have a good idea for what we can do. Yeah, let's. I would love that. I'm on board, and hell yeah.
So we could do like Meet Dave, you know, Tacos Con Todo, and we just do like a little YouTube video with it or something.
I'm down. That would be super fun. And then yeah, maybe like some I don't know, some rib tacos or something like that. Or
that's good thinking because it's unique. A lot of people do obviously pulled pork and tacos, even brisket tacos has been done. Not a lot of people have done ribs and then chop up the ribs and do it with the rib meat, you know?
Yeah, and you almost have to like hit it with some like it's like a nice mix of greenery on there, like a nice pico de gallo with big chunks, you know, and have that marinated in like some lime juice. Now we're talking, man. It'll be like a sweet and sour kind of thing, and make it really spicy with the barbecue sauce. That would hit.
And you know what the secret ingredient's going to be, right?
The mustache rub.
It's going to be orange sauce in the mustache brush.
Just pushing sauce across the rack of ribs.
Orange sauce it on. I think you're onto something with this mustache brush, man.
You got to grow it out, and every 6 months you trim it and you put it on a brush and you sell it. I mean, these are one of ones. Every time. It
takes me 6 months to grow it out, man. That's why it's the first time I've ever had a mustache in my life.
And that's why you could probably charge $5,000 for one of those barbecue applying brushes. You know, it's scarcity. You know, a new brush every 6 months. Only 2 a year are made. So.
Hell yeah, man. All right, man. Before we run out of time, I don't want to be too greedy with you here, man. Talk about your Showtime special coming out.
Yeah, I got my first 1 hour special is coming out May 29th. That's a Friday at 9 p.m. It's titled Stay at Home Son. The title works right now. I didn't know this whole thing was going to happen.
That's crazy.
I named it back in November 2nd when I shot it, and now it's about to come out. So if you have Showtime, please check it out. Stay at Home Son, May 29th, Friday, 9 p.m.
I got confused when I first saw it. I go, did he do something specifically for the pandemic? And then I started thinking about it. I go, oh no, he's got the whole phrase "stay at home," because I first read it like at "stay at home, son,"
right.
but
With the comma.
"Stay at home, son." Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so no comma. It was just like that. It just worked out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope people like it. I work really hard on it. And again, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me come on and crash your session here and promote the shows.
Always, man. Glad to have you. I hope people go. I hope they watch that on Showtime. I hope they go to YouTube right now and watch Tacos Con Todo.
That's right.
Hey, just who are your guests that you had on there? You had Tom Segura. You had Fluffy, right?
Yeah, we had Tom Segura, Christina Pazinski. We had Gabriel Iglesias. We had Andy Milanakis. We had I'm blanking out. Joey Diaz, Brandon Schaub. We had Blake Anderson from Workaholics. It was a fun episode, a show to do. So season 2, baby, let's get it.
That's awesome, man. And hopefully people enjoy that so much they go over and check out your golf project as well. And by the way, golf courses are open. So let me know when you want to meet up and play, buddy. All right.
Let's do it, man. We live pretty close to one another. So let's figure out a day where we can go out there and hit some balls and brainstorm this collab.
100%. And it's only a matter of time before I was telling my wife today, before I get in my car and drive down to pick up a breakfast burritos from Nick's down there. I've been craving one lately. And I'm like, dude, I bet the traffic's not too bad right now. I could shoot down one morning and get a couple and bring them home.
Yeah, man. Right now, traffic is non-existent. We got to take advantage of that and make some good food runs.
100%, man. And I hope it's sooner rather than later we can get back on the road again and do some shows together.
Yeah, man. Well, I can't wait. But thank you so much again. And yeah, man, we'll talk soon.
All right, brother. I love you, man. Best of luck with everything.
Later, man. Take care.
Talk soon. And that is Jesus Trejo, everybody. Make sure you support all those projects that he has going on. His Showtime special is coming out at the end of this month, 2 days before my birthday, May 31st. If you guys enjoy watching this, no pressure, but feel free to chip in a few bucks. My Venmo is at Dave W Comedy. Anything that I collect from there, I'm splitting with my production guy, JR, so that we can, so our wives allow us to keep doing this. All right. All we need to do is make at least $1 a piece so we can say, but honey, we're making money. All right. So if you guys have a couple bucks, drop it in there and we will put that towards our meat fund because we want to start cooking, man. I think Friday we're going to fire up the smoker and that way we'll be cooking something while we're doing this. All right. But hey, if nothing else, guys, we just appreciate you watching and your support. Please share it. Spread the word. Show back up 6 o'clock Monday through Friday. We will be here every day unless we're not, unless for some reason we can't be. But we're doing our darnest to commit to this, and I hope you have fun with it. I'm going to go through and respond to all the comments after we sign off. Looks like we had a lot of interaction there. Thanks, guys. Sean Smiley, I appreciate you. Sean, just call me, man. I'll tell you everything you need to know about your first brisket, all right? And also on my podcast, one of my episodes, I uploaded some brisket Cliff Notes. So I could send you a link to that. It's like 5 minutes where I just basically go through the basics of doing your first brisket. Kudos to you for trying it, buddy. It's not as intimidating as people think, all right? Happy to do that for you, Sean. Hit me up. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you watching. Tomorrow, Justin James is going to be on the live stream with me. He is a comedian / chef. He is going to cook something while we're talking to him. He's got a lot of creative stuff that he always does. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. Have a great night. Drop a few bucks if you can. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock.